Hello and welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. Today's video going to be a wee preview of tomorrow's Champions League game against Club Brugge at Celtic Park. A game that could take Celtic a long way to reaching the needed points level to get into the playoff stage of this year's Champions League. In the video, we're going to have a wee look at some stats, quick run through of the Club Brugge recent form and their potential star players and a couple of injury worries that they have, plus a predicted lineup and predicted score as well. Before we do crack on the video, just a wee suggestion, encouragement. If you are new to the channel, not yet subscribed, please do click that subscriber button. Keep the numbers pushing steadily up past 1,100. If you do like the video, please do click that like button. Does help with YouTube recommending the channel and the video and Celtic to more and more folk on YouTube, and do pop your own thoughts into the comment section, keeping them pleasant and polite. If you can, regarding what your own prediction is regarding the starting lineup and the score for tomorrow and any other issues relating to the club or tomorrow's game. Big game for Celtic tomorrow to keep the momentum going. At the moment, we are lying 15th in the Champions League table, and so very nicely in that 9 to 24 bracket that will see us into the playoff stage for the last 16. We've so far had 2 home wins against Bratislava and RB Leipzig. That brave draw away from home against Atalanta, and that very disappointing loss to Borussia Dortmund. So we're on 7 points and our goal difference is 0. Tomorrow we're playing Club Brugge. They've played 4 games as well, 6 points, lying in 22nd. And so far they've lost 3-1 to AC Milan, 3-0 to Borussia Dortmund, and a 1-0 win away from home against Sturm Graz of Austria, and a 1-0 win against Aston Villa due to a rather freakish penalty. And overall in that game, Club Brugge were really quite lucky to get away with a win, and overall a draw would have been a much fairer result in the game against Aston Villa. However, they did hold on for a win, which puts them up to 1 point behind Celtic. And so they do come to Celtic tomorrow with good form. They won 7-0 at the weekend, and their previous league game before that was a 2-2 draw, and so they are coming to Celtic in good form. As I see it, Brendan Rodgers has a couple of potential selection issues to fully decide, and I think he's probably going to go for the safer option rather than the more risky option. My predicted lineup for tomorrow in that case is going to be Kasper Schmeichel in goals, Alistair Johnston at right back, Cameron Carter-Vickers and Austin Trusty as the 2 centre-backs. I think they're forming a very good partnership. I think he'll go for Greg Taylor again at left back. I thought Taylor was very poor in the weekend game against Hearts. I thought he was beaten for pace, beaten for strength, poor positioning, and wasn't really moving into midfield quite as well as he usually does. I personally would prefer to see Alex Valle playing at left back tomorrow and in the longer term, because he does give that better defensive option, more strength, more height, whilst also having that ability to break forward, pass, cross, and shoot, etc. And I think Valle's performance against Atalanta should get him into the side, but I think Rodgers will take the safer option and go for the experience of Greg Taylor. I think in midfield, Callum McGregor obviously picks himself, as does Rio Hatate, who's been in great form just recently. Arnie Engels has kind of gone off the boil after a few very good games at the start of his Celtic career, and I think there's a strong argument for playing Paolo Bernardo instead, as he has had some very good substitute appearances. However, I think the safer and better option and less risky option is to go for your star young player Arne Engels, and so I fully expect to see him starting. And of course, if things don't pan out well, we've got the option of bringing on Paolo Bernardo at half time or with 30 minutes or so to go to see if he can get Celtic's midfield going again. On the right, obviously, Nicholas Kuhn. On the left, Dyson Maida. And through the middle, Kyogo. I think, given that Adam Idah had an especially good performance at the weekend against Hearts, looked like he's really back to fully match fitness and match sharpness. I think there is an argument for playing Adam Idah instead as the central striker. But I think the pace and increase in confidence and scoring ability of Kyogo will see him get the nod over Adam Idah. However, again, as I said, we have the option of bringing him off the bench. If we're required to go to two up front or to go to a different style of striker, or simply if Kyogo isn't at his sharpest and best form. I think we've got some very strong players coming off the bench, good defensive cover. We've got good cover out wide as well. And so we do have a number of options to change the way things are out wide, through the middle, and in central midfield. Looking at Club Brugge and Celtic stats, Celtic's record against Belgian clubs in Europe, 4 wins and 4 defeats over the years in the various competitions. And we've played 4 times against Anderlecht, a couple of games against Ghent, and a couple of games against Germinal Erkenen. If Celtic were to win tomorrow, it would be the first time in 12 seasons that we've won 3 Champions League games in one season. And so quite a target to achieve there. Club Brugge, so far in the last 9 Champions League games, have scored 4 goals. However, over the period of 2022 to current, they lie second in the Champions League with 58% clean sheets, and so clearly are a team that don't score a lot of goals, but however are very difficult to break down in Champions League football. And that's also backed up by the fact that they won their 2 games so far in this Champions League, both 1-0, and weren't blown away by either AC Milan or Dortmund in their other games this season. Typically, Club Brugge set up in some form of 4-2-1-3. They usually have a couple of defensive midfielders, and Ardon Jashari, who was for quite a while linked to coming to Celtic, ended up going to Bruges. He's had a good season in that defensive midfield role. Ahead of him tends to be Hans Vanaken in the attacking midfield role. Out wide, they have very good wide players, Andreas Skov Olsen and Christos Zolis. And Zolis, the Greek international, has been scoring a lot of goals so far this season. He's got a couple of goals for them in this Champions League campaign. And he's also coming off scoring 4 goals in the weekend game in that 7-0 win I mentioned earlier. One other player to recognise as being one of their key players is also Simon Mignolet, the ex-Liverpool goalkeeper, who has had a good spell recently as the Club Brugge goalkeeper, and was for a while reckoned to be one of the better goalkeepers in the English Premier League, and so could well be a difficult goalkeeper to beat tomorrow. Bruges are missing a few of their better players. Nielsen, their Swedish centre forward, and their fullbacks Meyer and Sike are all missing. Skov Olsen is just back from injury, and so it's not certain whether he'll be starting or coming off the bench, but he is one of the exciting up-and-coming players and has in the past also been linked briefly to Celtic, although that link did seem to quickly disappear as he was not looking to move to Scottish football and and was more looking in the longer term to move to one of the bigger leagues rather than bypassing that to come to Celtic. However, not certain at this point whether Scott Olsen will start, be on the bench, or may not be risked for tomorrow's game. No other major Celtic news bubbling under, and so we'll finish off things there. In terms of my own prediction for tomorrow's game, I'm going to go for a similar kind of result as we've had against Slovan Bratislava and RB Leipzig. It's going to go for a 3-1 win for Celtic. I think the big Celtic Park crowd is going to be quite a major factor. A lot of teams who come to Celtic Park do find the atmosphere very oppressive and talk about it being like Celtic having an extra man on the pitch. And so I do think that Club Brugge might well find the atmosphere and the conditions and the noise, etc., do put them a little bit on the back foot. As I say, they do tend to be quite a defensive side, fighting out in midfield, trying to get the ball forward, and then coming through from midfield to support the strikers and from out wide. And so I could certainly see there being quite a battle in the midfield with McGregor, Hatate and Engels, with players such as Johnson and Taylor or Valle pushing into midfield to help Celtic win that battle. So, 3-1 win for Celtic is my prediction. I will be doing a post-match review video after the Club Brugge match, probably on Thursday morning. And so, as we finish, just a wee polite second encouragement suggestion to click that subscribe button if you're not yet subscribed. If you do like the video, please do click that like button. It really does help boost the channel and boost the video's popularity and coverage. And do pop your own thoughts into the comment section regarding the starting 11 and the score prediction for tomorrow. And so until the next video, good luck Celtic in your game against Club Brugge tomorrow evening, Wednesday evening, and hail, hail.